If you carefully watch a violinist play, you may notice a lot of movement and flexibility in their bow hand. This is necessary for control as well as clarity and quality of the sound. In this video, I'm going to talk about 4 simple exercises that will help get your bow to the next level. Hi, my name is Ariadna and welcome to Mindful Strings, your violin sanctuary. Do you dream of playing beautifully but feel like there's never enough time to practice? Well, I'm here to help you organize your practice so that it's efficient, enjoyable, and fits your busy life. If you're ready to make progress in just 15 minutes a day, let's get started. There's many videos out there talking about how to hold the bow. There's some variation in the instruction, and I certainly have my favorite way of teaching it. However, before you ever pick up the bow, there are a few different things you can do to speed up the learning process. The first exercise you're going to do is going to be with just your hand. Start with open hand and then bend your fingers over this way. So you are making a kind of a 90-degree angle here. Bring it up. Do it again. See if you can do it without over tensing your hand. So what I'm having you do is first drop your fingers from the first set of joints. And then the next thing is, can you bend the fingers from the next set of joints? I will point out that it's important to keep your thumb relaxed or bent and not hyperextend. Just as an experiment, so you have the contrast experience, if you go ahead and overextend your thumb in the other direction, try opening and closing your hand and bending the fingers. It's a lot more effort than if your thumb is actually naturally rounded in its more neutral position, because our hand is designed for this grabbing motion. In Tai Chi, I believe this is called the leopard's paw. You may find that you are not used to making these movements. It's necessary to gain awareness of these smaller muscle groups and how to control them. The second exercise we're going to do is with a pencil. First, I'm going to ask you to make this shape with your hand. I'm connecting the tip of my thumb to the top joint of the middle finger, kind of creating a circle shape here. The pencil is going to be right between these 2 points, like so. Here, you're going to keep your hand aligned with your forearm so the wrist is straight. I don't want to see a dropped hand or a raised hand. We don't want to create too much tension, so this is kind of the most neutral position. If you watch my hand, we're going to drop the index finger down, kind of where it lands naturally, drop the ring finger, and then the pinky is going to be the only other finger that touches the pencil with the tip. This is the shape that you are looking for. Notice how there is nice arch in the pinky. There's a nice bend in the thumb. There's kind of a semicircle shape over there. And as I turn my hand, so all of these 3 fingers are roughly 1 digit down. So you don't want to be holding the pencil with your fingertips. These 3 fingers are lower down. This is a place to start. The important thing is to practice holding the pencil in this way without squeezing it. So think about how little muscular tension you need in your hand in order for the pencil not to fall out of your hand. It's really not that much work at all. One of the things that I repeat in my lessons with my students hundreds of times, if not thousands, is to make sure the thumb is round. Once you have your pencil comfortably and lightly in your hand and you're keeping your wrist in line with the forearm, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and straighten all the fingers, yes, including the thumb. So don't overextend it, but straighten it just a little bit. You want to keep an eye on this, and then bring the pencil back in closer to the palm of the hand. So we're straightening the fingers and then bringing them back in. A thing to pay attention to here is the knuckles on the top of your hand. Why? Because we don't want to see the knuckles stay in the shape where they're all sticking out and it's like you're white knuckling it. So again, this will happen if the thumb hyperextends and goes in the opposite direction. So if you are able to straighten the fingers, so it's as if you're creating this kind of angle here, but then curl everything up and bring the pencil closer to the inside of the hand, flattening the top of the hand. You're teaching your hand how to use the smaller muscle groups to control these more finite movements. You may find that by the time you've moved the pencil with your fingers a few times, the placement and shape of your hand has completely changed. So it's important to check back in and make sure that we're starting out here. Now, the other way to practice picking up the pencil is if you put it on that line on the middle finger and then bring the thumb over on the other side. So it's a good starting point. You can either start by doing this and putting the pencil between the fingers, or you can start by putting the pencil on the middle line and then bringing the thumb here, dropping the index and ring finger kind of where they are. And then the pinky is luckily by default a little bit shorter than the other fingers, so it should comfortably land on the pencil with the tip. Here's one more time the demonstration. I call this exercise spider push-ups. If you hold the pencil and the hand is the one that's moving, then it kind of makes me think of spider push-up, spider doing a push-up. With the third exercise, we're finally adding the bow, but not quite in the way that you might think yet. You're going to start by holding the bow similarly to how you held the pencil, but vertically. So once again, just think about the placement of the middle finger and the thumb around the stick. The pinky can help stabilize it. So you're going to hold it just like this, and then you are going to crawl up the stick by moving all of your fingers a little bit. I had you start a little bit above the frog because it's harder to balance the weight of the entire bow if you start right here. But if you feel confident doing it without squeezing too much with your hand, you can go ahead and do that. But if you're doing this for the first time, it might be easier to start just a few inches above the frog. So I'm just creeping up the bow stick, kind of like so. My thumb is once again round. I am not squeezing. I'm trying to let every finger move. In this particular exercise, it is okay to use the fingertips. And then the challenge is, can you move the bow up by now creeping down the bow? So simultaneously lifting. It's again more about small muscle group control here, right? So we're not holding the bow in playing position yet. We're just kind of working with the stick. Now, if you're too scared to do this with your bow, you can do it over your bed in case you drop your bow, or if you have something similar like a long stick of some kind, feel free to use that. Once you've gained some confidence working on those three things, we can add the bow to the violin. Once again, not quite in playing position just yet. I want you to pick up your violin by the shoulder and kind of hold it up against your chest like so you can have a very clear view of the strings. You're going to place the bow on either the D or the A string or both, so it's kind of resting on top of the strings. You are in the middle of the bow and you are holding the bow once again just with the thumb and middle fingers. So we are continuing to practice finding the center point or balance point. This is the only place where you're really holding the bow. You have done this on the pencil, but on the bow, what you're going to do is find this little spot right next to the bump of the frog. So the tip of the thumb is going on this side, so the side closer to me right now, and then the middle finger is going to be on the other side of that. This is what it looks like. Okay, so again, I'm actually not gonna do the full bow hold right now. I just have my violin here, roughly middle of the bow, holding it with the thumb and middle finger. So what you should feel is that the bow is completely seated on the string as if it's sitting on a shelf. So you don't have to worry about holding it. All you're doing is you're preventing it from falling off by just supporting it a little bit here without squeezing. What you're going to do is straighten your right arm pull the bow to the tip. Now, notice now that the shape of my hand is such that the back of the hand is kind of at an angle. It's facing me. It's looking back at my face. And the wrist is now slightly bent. Then you're going to pull it back. Again, don't worry about the bow moving in a straight line just yet too much. You're just working on allowing the weight of the bow rest on the string and not interfering with it in any way, not pressing down and not lifting the bow above the string or like hovering over the string. So just practicing upper half of the bow, letting the bow make whatever sound it will make in this neutral weight. So I think the main thing to say about the hand here is that it's going to be slightly tilted towards the index finger. So again, you're going to make sure your shoulders are released. You don't want to be picking up your shoulders. Your elbow is aligned with your wrist because you're in the middle of the bow. So the hand, the wrist, the forearm are all in a straight line. And then you're going to straighten the bow arm. The wrist goes under. The back of the hand is facing you. And then you pull it back up to where the wrist goes up and back into that alignment. It may seem a little tedious at first to break things down into such tiny steps, but I promise you that taking this approach will significantly speed up your progress. I have put together a free 15-minute guided practice session, so if you'd like to check that out, click the link down in the description box below. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comment section. I hope this was helpful. Happy mindful practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.